Hi everyone, welcome back to Daily Freddo. If you're a person with at least a tiny bit of zest for life, then you're probably trying to have a good time. You want to enjoy the ride, you want to laugh. Unfortunately, today's culture is anti-sense of humor. Comedian after comedian is criticized by the mob for offensive jokes, but that just fuels more jokes. Fortunately, comedians began to rebel. Several interviews appeared online of them complaining about the cancel culture and how they won't stop telling funny jokes just because someone gets offended. Have a look.
No, it's really gotten crazy. It's gotten to the point, like, I've seen, I'm not gonna name names, but I've seen, like, you know, a tweet from a fellow comic telling comics what jokes you shouldn't talk about this topic. It's like, who the f are you? It's like, there's already gonna be enough people doing that. You're gonna do like cannibalism now? I'm not saying the points that they're making don't need to be made. I'm not saying that their complaints are not just. It's the execution of it.
Yes.
You're gonna go through intimidation and destroying people, like,
exactly.
people's careers and people, you have to publicly apologize.
Ridiculous. Imagine if you were working in the office and you said one bad joke or you said something wrong and you had to publicly apologize in front of all your colleagues and bosses and, I don't know, company shareholders. It's ridiculous. So many times people had literal meltdowns because of a freaking joke. It's okay not to find something funny. It's okay to find something offensive, but that doesn't mean you get to do this.
Give credit where credit is due. I'm probably the most pro anti-Trump comic out there. That mother.
You're not.
Shut the f up.
As a white guy trying to talk to black people.
I'm not.
Bitch, no, you're not.
What are you upset about? It's not me.
No, and shut up. Any black person ever try to laugh at his jokes? No. No, a white person trying to make fun of black people.
See, now you're crying, and I was just trying to make you laugh.
No, don't do that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You a
Why do you think I'm doing this for a living? You think I was a football player? I'm a bitch, god damn it. There's nothing you can say to me I haven't said 6 inches from the mirror. You're the first name going in my suicide note tonight. Have a good night, Kamala Harris. Now's the time I need you on my side.
No, that was the most racist joke ever.
No, I got like 4 more in the chamber. Did I say anything racist, Brian?
No, you're good, man.
Yeah, man. Brian is my one Asian friend. That's not racist. It would be racist if I had no Asian friends. What are you doing to stop Asian hate?
What a tantrum she had. Seriously. According to her, was unacceptable, too offensive. Someone said, why people like that pay for the show? Right? What's the point? Another one, I'll never understand why people go to comedy stand-up shows and get offended. And someone else, if you are so weak to be offended by a joke, you might as well not exist, especially if you enter a comedy club and get offended. Yep, not the right place to have bad feelings, I guess.
I've got hurt feelings. I've got hurt feelings.
It's like me going to McDonald's, ordering a burger, and then throwing it back at the guy that served me for selling me a burger. Censorship is dangerous. Who decides what's offensive? Who decides what stays? What's acceptable? What's funny? I don't know if you've heard, but China applies fines to comedians now. Look at this headline. What will one joke cost China's comedians? Chinese authorities issued a $2 million fine over one joke. What price will China's creative community pay? The article explains. Stand-up comedy only recently emerged in China, but one bad joke is threatening to wipe it out. Last month, the comedian Li Haoshi, better known as House, used the Chinese military slogan as his punchline. Li was placed under investigation and the events production company was fined with $2 million. Other stand-up performances were immediately suspended. Critics say it's part of a wider crackdown on all forms of cultural entertainment that could challenge the Chinese government's own narrative. Like I said, censoring is dangerous and shouldn't happen. When you censor someone, who looks more suspicious? The guy who told a joke or the entity, the mob, the person that censored him? Anyway, let's watch some of those offensive American skits. Which one could deserve a $2 million fine? We start with Rafi Bastos because a lot of your comments on my videos talk about my accent. Some of you like it, some of you can't stand the sound of it. I promise you, in my head, I sound like this.
In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate.
But learning English was not easy. Just like this comedian said, you guys are making it really hard now.
I saw the other day a person saying, don't call me he or she, call me they. And I was like, what the f? It took me 3 years to learn I am, you are, he is, she is. This whole gender neutral pronoun, it's confusing for me. Let me tell you a story. I invited a friend to have dinner at my house the other day. And he was like, oh, I'm bringing a friend. And I said, of course, bring him. And he was like, no, bring them. So I bought a lot of food. I bought briskets and pizzas and pastas. And my friend showed up at my house with one person. So I said, where are they? And he said, they are here. So you tell them that they are gonna eat all of this.
Come on, that's objectively funny. Great joke and totally appropriate for the ridiculous times we're in, and this coming from a relatively liberal person. Another one, if they are in trouble, do they scream help us? And the next one, just so you know, it's always been grammatically correct, so there is no change in that. There is always that one actually person to ruin it for everyone else. Just let people laugh. Life is shitty enough as it is. Let people enjoy one freaking joke. But to make me really honestly laugh, it's tough. So it would piss me off so much if I was finally laughing and there was some Karen trying to ruin it for me. Ironically, offended Karens became a topic of many stand-up comedy shows. Have a look.
Getting offended is something privileged people do. And we just got privilege last week. It's very exciting. Now in the West, you've had privilege for years. You've taking offense to another level. Like Americans can get offended on other people's behalf. It's a very American thing. I'm offended for you. What you went through is so stressful. I'm gonna take the day off. But you're very proactive. You're all about justice. You see something wrong on the streets, you take your phone out and you film it. What you're doing, sir, is wrong. You're gonna go viral. There are gonna be consequences. Every time an American films a hate crime, in the background you can see an Indian just walking to work. I didn't see anything. I don't have my green card yet.
Getting offended is something privileged people do. I'm using this quote as life advice. Another one, it's through people like him that I've noticed that cancel culture only has power over those that are afraid of offending someone. The people pleasers and yes men. But when you're this guy, they don't even try to because they know that their power to cancel you heavily predicates on you giving them that power by actually caring what they think. Amen. Here is a bit about wokeness.
But in the West, you're very, what's the word? Woke. That's a word I learned, woke. That's the reason I travel, to learn new words. It's not to expand my audience. I'm Indian. My audience is expanding as we speak right now. I asked a college kid, I'm like, what does it mean to be woke? She was like, to be woke means to realize, to recognize, to organize, and then to vocalize. That describes everything from a book club to a Nazi rally, all right? I want to be one of these comedians who can write woke jokes for woke people. I've tried. Do you want to hear them, yeah? Knock, knock. Well, if you need to hear the sound of somebody's voice before you let them into your apartment, what does that say about your elitist privilege, huh?
The worst is, you can believe that there is someone, somewhere, who said it and meant it. I can hear brain cells exploding as woke individuals try to work out how to call you racist. But I want to bring up this classic, the iconic Ricky Gervais. You hear this name and you know you're in for a good time. You can't go to his show and be a sensitive Jenny, and here is why.
Oh, women. Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those dinosaurs. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and they're as good as... They're as good as gold. I love them. No, it's the old-fashioned. And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady? Well, his penis. Her penis, you f***ing bigot. What if he rapes me? What if she rapes you? You f***ing turf whore.
I laugh every time, and then I realize this is our reality. Again, Comedian is delivering his lines in a hilarious way, and it's amazing, but then the show is over and you have people saying the same but completely seriously. And then you realize, that's it, the world has gone mad. I wonder how many of the audience actually understand that Ricky is repeating exactly what's being said to women on Twitter. Exactly. Ricky, you're a bloody genius. Another one, there is hope for the world as long as comedians like Gervais and Chappelle continue to do what they do. Ah yes, Dave Chappelle, of course. Let's watch this.
I'll be real with you, and I know nobody gives a what I think anyway. I'm not for it, but I'm not against it either. It all depends on who I get pregnant. I don't care, I'll tell you right now, I don't care what your religious beliefs are or anything. If you have a you need to shut the up on this one. Seriously, the right to choose is their unequivocal right. Not only do I believe they have the right to choose, I believe that they shouldn't have to consult anybody except for a physician about how they exercise that right. Gentlemen, that is fair. And ladies, to be fair to us, I also believe if you decide to have the baby, a man should not have to pay. That's fair. If you can kill this motherfucker, I can at least abandon him. It's my money, my choice. And if I'm wrong, then perhaps we're wrong. So figure that out for yourselves.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you cause self-reflection. Someone commented, I love how he trapped everyone in that joke and made them look at themselves. And if I'm wrong, then we're all wrong. Exactly the line that stuck with me, someone said. And another one, when you fully watch his specials, even when he pokes fun at sensitive subjects, you actually see how transparent he actually is. He stands by his views, but doesn't look down on anyone who doesn't agree. Some of the jokes can be more nuanced, some are straightforward, some make you more or less uncomfortable. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't buy a ticket to a show. Basically avoid it. A few years ago, Konstantin Kisin rejected to do a show after he received a behavioral contract. Have a look.
It said, by signing this contract, this is the UNICEF on campus SOAS, right? Part of University of London. By signing this contract, you are agreeing to our no-tolerance policy with regards to racism, sexism, classism, ageism, homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, xenophobia,
gonna take a while,
Islamophobia, or anti-religion or anti-atheism. You basically couldn't do a joke about anything.
And it says that all jokes must be respectful and kind.
Since when was comedy supposed to be
goodness.
respectful and kind?
I'd have to walk away from this programme if that was the case.
Right, but the whole point of comedy is it sort of sends things up and people up, right?
I'm glad you understand that.
At this point, we all miss George Carlin, don't we?
But they take it too far. They take themselves too seriously. They exaggerate. They want me to call that thing in the street a person-hole cover. I think that's taking it a little bit too far.
But I also recognize that sense of humor is subjective. Everyone enjoys something different. In the end, we should be grateful for all comedians that ignore the woke agenda. We should be even more grateful for those that decide to expose it for a joke that it already is. Comedians are a window to self-reflection, like Dave Chappelle challenges us very often to look inside ourselves, make us think if we are actually good people or we just pretend to be. We need comedians and we should never censor them. Just pick who you decide to watch according to your sense of humor. But as usual, I want to hear what you guys think. Who is your favorite comedian? Do you enjoy comedy? Let me know in the comments. Here are some more videos from me you can watch, and of course subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications to never miss another Daily Freddo episode. And for even more content and daily updates, follow me on Instagram @DailyFreddo. That's all for today. Have a good one.
Hey, which one of you cute little cupcakes wants to come home and cook me a nice meal and give me a blow?